and power. He doesn't just taste food, he summons forgotten flavors and awakens dormant passions. Behold, the Wizard of Food, Wesley Source, and the Tucson
We're excited to get back into just having fun in Tucson because that's what it's all about. We had some really tasty experiences at SAVOR, and that's what we're here to talk about today. And we also have a really cool guest in the studio to help us out with that, Stephen Faulkner of Source Signature Outdoors. And today's show is actually brought to you by Source Signature Outdoors. You're online and on Instagram and LinkedIn, or you can call Stephen directly at
520-499-9460.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. So SAVOR is one of our favorite events that we see every year. And it is a combination of all the amazing chefs in town. And it was a blast. But it was the first time that you actually got to go to SAVOR.
Jaw-dropping is what I'd say. Yeah, it was a phenomenal event.
Awesome. And it's a celebration of all of our culinary purveyors in town, right?
That's definitely a word I'd use for it, absolutely. Purveyors of flavor and deliciousness.
There we go. Let's try that. Trying to get everything dialed in with the microphones. So tell us a little bit about some of the things that you were expecting and that you saw.
You know, I didn't have any expectations really going into it, and it certainly didn't disappoint. There were incredible artists, local artists that had, fantastic paintings. There were wineries, there were restaurants, all out there showing their best. The energy was fantastic. It was a really fantastic event. It's something that I think every Tucsonan should experience at least once, if not many times.
Absolutely. And so what was the favorite bite? There were so many amazing bites, and you can actually check out the article at thetastyshow.com and the excitement around everything.
No, absolutely. It's super difficult to pare it down. I definitely think two stood out to me in particular. The queso birria from Sace is legendary.
Yes. Always.
The savoriness, the blend of cheese, it was just perfect. It was dialed in so well. Their consomme is fantastic. Honey glazed mesquite donuts from Purple Devil Donuts.
Mm-hmm.
Those were good.
And most of these chefs try to use local ingredients, and that's one of the things that I love about the event, because it highlights local ingredients, right? And that is a huge factor. The things that are available, and then you can go back to the restaurants and get your favorites again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was like a buffet of Tucson. That's probably one of the best ways I could put it. Really brought a lot of the culture that we have here in this town, which it's so unique and vibrant. And getting to see it all mix around with all these people interacting with each other,
right, and
just enjoying their craft.
It's made for the public, so that's the whole point. Is the public it's open and it's every year, and it leads into something that I really appreciate, because it is the lead up to Devour. And Devour is Phoenix, and it's at the Botanical Gardens, and it's put on by Art Arizona, and it's put on by Local First Arizona. And
I was already stuffed like 3/4 of the way through SAVOR.
Yeah. Yep. That is definitely a problem, right? And that you can have. Right?
It's a good problem to have, I'd say.
So one of my favorite bites was the Sawmill Run up in Summerhaven, and that was this really amazing finished with a little bit. I think it was a little zest of something
That one was phenomenal. Yeah, the spicy back, like you had this nice creamy, rich front with the polenta, and then it kind of as it melts away, it left that kind of tangy wasabi flavor, and then a nice refreshing burst from the microgreens. That was definitely in the top bites for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And then what would you say your favorite bite? Because that was my favorite bite.
It's hard for me to narrow down the the birria from Seis. I think the queso birria. It's probably competing with that one. That polenta was fantastic too.
Seis or from Amelia's? Dale, and then so many other things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was a big fan of the popcorn. It was really simple. What was the name of that company again?
Pop.
It was Pop.
Popped.
Yeah, Popped. Yeah, they had some fantastic. It was like there was a cinnamon popcorn that was really tasty, and it had some chocolate mixed in there.
All right.
Oh, if you'll remind me, they were in the little truck cart across from Purple Devil Donuts. They had the beverages. They had that.
Sip.
Yeah, sip. Okay.
Yeah.
They had a drink there that literally tasted like the monsoon season.
It did, yeah. With the creosote finish on it, which was unique.
Yeah, she rattled off the blend. She was like,
oh, it's posted on the website
on mixing those things up. Yeah, and somehow the blend of rosemary and sage and whatever else she put in there, it reminded me. I'm a Tucsonan, right, born and raised. So we all know when the monsoons hit, you get that beautiful smell of rain and creosote.
Absolutely.
I never thought I'd get to taste it.
Right. And it wasn't, because typically you get one of those drinks and it's wild. It's a very diverse plant. And so you get that amazing flavor, but they had to dull it down almost and work on it really hard to make it work.
That effort shows. I mean, it was delicious. It was a delightful beverage. That's the best way I could put it.
Awesome. And then, so you are with Source is what?
Source Signature Outdoors is a luxury outdoor living company. We are hardscapers. We focus on pools, patio, a concierge service from start to finish. Our goal is to bring people's dreams to life and extend their living space. You've already invested so much in your home to us when they want to really beautify that space and get more out of their property.
Love it. I love it. And so patios, pools, pergolas, and artificial turf. Now,
you've partnered with several distributors here in Arizona to bring extremely high quality products to people's homes. You certainly can go to Home Depot, pick up some turf, and throw it in your backyard. I guarantee it will never touch the quality of installation and product that we're going to bring to your backyard.
No obligation estimate. How would they do that?
And I'd be happy to set up an appointment with you. We'll have one of our recommendations to ensure that we're set. Yeah, then we're going to bring it all to life for you.
Beautiful. And all right, so you come out to the house, and what do you do?
Essentially listening. Seeking to understand is our biggest thing. If we can understand what our client needs, we can then bring it to life. But our understand you better and your situation. We'll present you with the pricing right there in the home so you can make that decision. Let's say you love it, you want to go for it. At that point, we're going to begin the processing. We can have it installed in a few days. If it's a pool, those usually take a couple months. Throughout the process, you're going to have us there, constantly communicating with you, ensuring you're up to date every step of the way. I've been through that process a few times, and the most frustrating thing I found is when I couldn't get anyone to communicate.
Absolutely.
And so communication and putting our customers, in a place where they feel comfortable.
And we're going to be right back after this short break, and we're going to have JT Ingram, Barkmore Wagless author, and it's going to be interesting. All right, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this goes. He wouldn't let me send any questions to him before the interview, so all right, we'll be right back.
Running and gunning.
Somebody broke my mic stand. You have any questions before we get started? All right. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source. The following segment features a discussion of ideas presented by the author. These views are solely those of the guest and not the reflection of the views, options, or editorial position of the Tucson Tasty Show. It is its producers or its host, Wesley Source. This segment is presented for information and discussion purposes only. We have in studio JT Ingram, and
yeah, correct.
Yeah, and he is the author of Bark More, Wag Less, and yeah, we'll just bring you in.
Good.
How you doing?
Thank you, Wesley.
Let's
It's good to be here.
try to get in a little bit closer.
Yes.
Sorry.
As you know, I live in Ajo, so I'm not here very much at all.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's like my third time in Tucson ever.
Well, there's a few more people than in Ajo, I think.
Definitely, yeah. We're only about 2,000 people, especially in the last 40 years when the mine closed and Ajo was very impoverished. And yeah, so it's really hard to really do anything. So it's been great to be in town and get connected with you guys and get some buzz about what I'm doing. And I just really appreciate it.
No, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate it for sure. And we had an opportunity to talk about SAVOR. Did you get to go over to SAVOR? Did you hear about SAVOR?
Let me know.
SAVOR is a yearly event that happens. And the next one's actually going to be DEVOUR, and DEVOUR is event, and it features a ton of local vendors, what they're doing in the community.
Yay.
Or .org, and that's the old SACA website. So if you put in SAA, there's no more room on that, SAACA, SACA.org, you'll be good as well. All right. All right. So, let's jump into it. They deserve to be. Why do you take that idea on so directly in your book?
Well, I actually discovered this on accident. And so I use the example of the guy who discovered that there was toxic amounts of lead in the air. Mm-hmm. And he did something about it. And it took years and years, and he had to battle big oil companies. So you probably never heard of a guy named Dr. Claire Patterson. He was mostly attributed as finding out the age of the Earth.
Okay.
4.55 billion years, in case those of you don't want to Google that.
Did he check for? Did he count the rings?
He was looking at zircons, and he was in a laboratory, and the findings. So he had to create a clean room, and it still wasn't good enough. Where's all this lead coming from? Where is it? It was leaded gasoline. Mm. And so just imagine if we had another 60 years of lead gasoline, or 50 maybe, there would be a lot of global lead-related career. After I got sick, I got on disability and I started recovering, and then I found out what happened. I'm doing everything right. I'm in one business in this chronic failure. Mm. And it just so happened I was watching some documentaries and stuff about zoology, paleoanthropology, sociology, and
okay.
I call it my interdisciplinary study for nearly a decade of what happened to me. And what happened was something that was a mix of traits. One of those is that I'm not a born leader type.
Okay.
And I was surrounded around born leader types that was kind of like, you have a litter of puppies. You have the alpha, the runt, and everybody in between. And I was more like the runt. And so if I had something to contribute, basically society kept demoting me no matter what, especially if I was, but I did take a professional music program. Mm. And then that was confirmed that I had some really unusual abilities, and that made things really messy. So instead of like, hey, let's give this guy publicity, let's give this guy attention, let's help this guy with a career, it's like, no, this guy's a freak. No, that's like, people shouldn't be doing that, and especially somebody like you, because you have no friends, you have, no social skills and stuff like that, and you just don't have the vibe. You don't have what it takes. And so a lot of people think this is an intake. They think it's an intuition. And there's so much science around everything from smelling, stress hormones and pheromones and all that kind of stuff. These are unconscious things that have been proven in scientific blind studies. And those are things you don't hear about. And I thought, holy shit, I'm a product of not only a sick society, and I'm quoting Dr. Daniel Everett, who's a linguist and one of my sources. I'm also a victim of my biology. And if you believe in such a thing, caste, C-A-S-T.
Yep.
But this is what I call attention caste. That has to do with the attention economy. Listens to you.
Right. No,
So I have all these myths that I've...
that's fair.
Yeah, and if we have time, and I'd love to do this again, too, if I'm back in town anytime soon, is ask me about the imposter phenomenon. I mean, there's just...
The imposter syndrome?
That syndrome phenomenon, yeah, those are interchangeable, because once I realized that attention was biological and that power and leadership had a lot of biological traits, in addition to, waiting for someone to advocate for you and empower you. Now, if that doesn't happen, what do? Leader terms. As well. Like, perceived privilege is one of those terms that I coined myself. Like a cult leader, they got, things that they...
Fair enough. So many viewers are gonna hear this and think, this sounds like a way to explain away failure instead of taking responsibility. So how do you respond to that type of criticism, though?
Well, it's because, and power comes naturally to them. It's crazy some of the stuff they can get away with. You were talking the other day about, you have an alternate explanation for me based on my experience with hyper influencers who do nothing but selfies. And that's something that I explain in my day. And who's programming the algorithms and what kind of people is it favoring? As totally, because you remember Internet Famous could be some total run-to-the-pack loser. And he
Justin Bieber, right?
He's an alpha. Sorry to say that, but no.
With his YouTube channel, I mean,
he's an alpha.
And then, all right. Fair.
They recognize a talent scout. They're willing to submit to authority. So they can draw. It's a pyramid scam kind of a concept, too.
Fair enough.
Yes. And they're also, I forget the third one, so ask me again. Okay, so they can submit to authority, and and then they might have some talent as well. So talent scouts, it's funny that I forgot that one. A talent scout these days has little to nothing to do with talent. They're looking at your social scoring.
Sure.
And you know what social scoring is, especially a mysterious Instagram kaboom that you had here in recent years. Like, how'd that happen?
We're going to come back. We're going to ask more questions about this book and how it deals with biology and how that relates. I'm Wesley Source, and this is the Tucson Tasty Show. Do about 30 seconds here, and then I've got your book up. That's what everybody's seeing right now.
Oh, nice. And then
That book.
Let me check YouTube, because I was checking to see if you had a scheduled... Oh, here. Hey, look, y'all. That's live on YouTube, y'all. Okay, let me get rid of this.
It's about a 30-second delay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I'm the first liker.
YouTube is an interesting world. YouTube, if you don't pay the algorithm ignores you completely.
I found a hack though recently with that.
No?
I do a premiere and I log into 5 accounts and I watch it on 5 accounts at a time, even though they're all under my same IP address and stuff like that, and it works. And it primes the pump.
Okay. I've heard. Okay, that makes sense.
I discovered that. I didn't look that up. I just experimented.
No, that makes sense because if more people are watching, the algorithm drives people to you, which makes sense. All right, ready? Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we are here in studio right now talking with Bark More, Wag Less. Opening up this part of the show, I've got to ask, are you a writer? Like, did you write books prior to this?
I've actually written a handful of books over the years, and I just never got any help, never got any support. And that was before there were good tools. Because I had to rely on proofreaders and editors, and they always wanted to change my books, and I just gave up. I mean, it was just like these were book people, and I was not a book person. And the other thing, too, is that the whole thing about being a writer is academic and stuff like that. And for a guy who barely disabilities, learning disabilities, that I've actually gotten through one entire book. So I'm writing some new ones, and I'm working on some older ones.
The camera here.
This is not my book. This copy belongs to Enrique, who's here in our studio. He just ordered it this week and sent me a selfie with it. I'm just like, yay, that's so cool. And because I want to get a Spanish version, so I've been looking into how to do that and get the version in Espanol.
Very cool.
So I'm so glad because, I mean, like the Latin community is also people that are ignored, and it's way more apparent. Here we like to hide it. In the United States, we like our rainbow flags, and we like to pretend that, we give everybody equal this and equal that. But in some countries, it's just blatant. No, we ignore those people entirely. So I can't wait for the Spanish version to come out. Oh my gosh. And disability access. There's not a lot of books where the audiobook comes first. I released the audiobook first. And all of us involved in it.
Who was the voice actor?
I was the main narrator, and I hired a local guy who's my age stuff. And so we stumble over this thing. We had to edit it like crazy, but it's 15 hours. I did the original music with my group Dialectic Flowers, and it's available right now for free on YouTube. So catch it before I take it down. Sunday Driver LLC, that's my company. You can look that up, or Jason T. Ingram on YouTube. And Less Understanding or Rethinking Chronic Failure. That's the subtitle, and it's actually on there as a course. So it's kind of cool how YouTube, you can upload a course now, like a college course, and then it'll help kind of coach you through that in some ways. And, like, okay, you're almost finished, and you've done this lesson, and now you got to do this. It's kind of cool. So I was like, yay.
So at Sunday Driver?
I'll have to show you that here in a little bit. So anyways, come back to that, because it's probably better to go to my website, which is sundaydriverproductions.com. And the book is sundaydriverproductions.com/bark, B-A-R-K. Because sort of like the book, Bark More, Wag Less.
Beautiful.
But you don't have to put in the whole title that way, so it's pretty fun that way.
Get that up on the screen for everybody.
It's kind of a play on words. They're doggy treats that are named, If you're somebody who's abusing your power regularly, then yeah, you need to bark less and wag more. But people that are stuck in professional obscurity, they're being ignored, especially they're being people-pleasing and asserting yourself. That could be a life or death thing. Careers, it's about empowering your life, and it could save lives, too. I told you that story about that guy, Ludwig Boltzmann. I don't think you looked him up. I mean, who's heard of Ludwig Boltzmann? He's the guy who wrote the paper over 100 years ago on atomic theory.
Okay.
So something called Brownian motion. I'm just a self-taught science geek, but anyways, you take a certain kind of pollen, you put it in water, and it starts dancing around. And in the 1800s, they're like, we don't know what this is. So a guy figured it out, and he wrote a paper. Life as a result of being ignored by everybody in this was a little something I'm calling Beyond Homeless Veterans. I love all the stuff we're doing for homeless veterans. It's just that
a lot of resources.
Yes, and that's great. Chapter 5, the second half of chapter 5. Yes. hats off to our heroes in the armed forces, and thank you for your service as well. For those who don't know, Wesley, veteran.
Thank you.
Love veterans. And so that's where we accessible and not hyper focusing on demographics that don't apply. I see some nodding here. Go ahead, dude. I appreciate that. And you're a survivor of homelessness like I was, and neither of us are veterans. And cognitive problems as a result of being demoted to the bottom.
Struggling, is there a risk that these ideas could feel?
No way out. I mean, you were born a loser, basically. You have to change your biology. That takes a lot of like magic and prayers and intervention and, luck.
Yep.
And so that's why I decided to take a bastardized, secularized faith approach. Wasn't trying to secularize them as much as possible. That have worked for me.
Fair enough. So, and if we accept even part of your argument, what responsibilities still belong?
Do you know somebody who's stuck in creative obscurity? And chances are we do, and we don't realize it. We don't know that, or they stop talking about it. There was a guy he worked on for 60 years, and they discovered it. He was neurodiverse on the spectrum, probably. And I would imagine as a kid, they probably ignored him. He thought, I'm just going to keep this whole thing a secret in my book as well. So, and give him the credit that he was due for a life, just like a lot of others. Mm-hmm. And so, I've ever heard anybody talk about my failures? I was blamed for everything. It was always said, well, you need to. Yeah, when an underdog acts like an alpha dog, they get bit.
So we have about 2 minutes left here, and I really want to ask, what would you want readers and viewers to question about your own ideas? What can people question about your ideas and to challenge and change
definitely.
Minds? We have to question.
Yeah. Read it, and
Fair.
it's blasphemous.
Some of the best books out there are not G-rated.
Yeah, these are crimes against society. So as far as being questionable,
we can edit it out in post.
No. That was the
but we're live.
version. No. That was the 3-letter version. I'm referring to that.
For everybody at home. He's talking about the Hoover Dam, northern Arizona. I really appreciate the rhetoric and the conversation, and definitely go check out this book, and that's SundayDriverProductions.com, and you can go right on there and check it out. And for everybody that is at home, you can see right there that's the front of the book, and you can check it out on YouTube as well if you want to listen to the book. I listened to the book. I read the book.
Good.
I had to prepare for the interview, right? And
I'm quoting you, compelling. I thought it's one of the best compliments I've had.
It's the truth. So this book, Bark More, Wag Less, with challenge how we think about success, responsibility, and fairness. And as always, stay tasty, Tucson.
So what I will tell you.